I look like a crazy person right now. I just got back from the gym because I needed to blow off some steam. Fair warning, I'm about to start screaming and spitting. This is probably the most emotion you will ever see from me. I'm about to get animated like a Pixar character, red in the face with steam coming out of my ears, because I am infuriated. I am livid. I've made a couple videos bringing you up to speed on a situation I've been dealing with US immigration. In a nutshell, our esports team, Moist Esports, has one of the best Apex rosters in the world right now. We're second place in NA, and we're in a really good position to win the major. But the major is happening on US soil, and the red-blooded patriots at US Immigration refuse to let our team come in. Our team is Australian. So we are initially...
So it's not even like these guys are from like China or like Iran or something like that, or Russia. They're from Australia? What the fuck?
Blind and had to pivot, get them to Canada so they could compete in NA this split. And we resubmitted, and our resubmission has just been declined again for legitimately no real reason, because the fucking glue-eating, crack-smoking, coke-snorting, lobotomite morons at US Immigration just don't want them in the country for whatever reason they're drumming up here. We have been working with the best lawyers in the industry, the best lawyers on this fucking planet that specialize in this field, and none of them can believe that we've been declined again. They've never had these issues before, so they're as stunned as we are. We even have one of the highest level executives at EA going to bat for us with US Immigration, lobbying for us to try and get our team in here, because our team is very important to the esport because we are so highly ranked. And even with the goddamn Avengers on our side, US Immigration slams the door in our face and turns us away like it's a...
I hope that Charlie understands that this is probably... Well, it's probably for sure because they're just lazy at the government and they don't really do anything. It's not personal. They're just lazy and they don't do anything.
Cross house party in college. They're Australian gamers. We're not trying to sneak in fucking Viltrumite aliens. What is the issue? Gadzooks, I would hate to meet our US Immigration agent in real life. It'd be like meeting Voldemort. It'd be like meeting Scrooge. Like an absolute joyless fucking husk of a zombie. It can't even be a real soul. There's no way there's a human being.
No, there's not a human being. There's 20 human beings that have this job, and they don't talk to each other. They have a meeting every other month for like 30 minutes. And that's how this happens.
That's handling our case. It's not possible, because there is no reason we would keep being declined. They're not even giving us reasons that make any sense at all. Not to us, not to the lawyers, not to anybody. Nobody. And no other esports team has had this problem. Every other org that has international players got in lickety-split. They fucking speedran it. Meanwhile, we can't. We literally can't. I'm convinced that if Jesus Christ...
The reason why is because Cassandra probably processed his forms and it wasn't Bill. And Cassandra was on her phone, and so she didn't read the forms very well. She wasn't paying attention because she was busy that day and she didn't really feel like giving a fuck. And so that's just what happens. Yep. This is why any time that I make a payment to the government, I like triple screenshot, save, like confirmation code. I have it backed up on like 2 different places, because like there have been times where I've paid them like $10,000 or $20,000 for something, and then they just send me, they're like, well, we didn't get it. What the fuck do you mean you didn't get it? And I call it up, they're like, oh wow, so we did get it. Okay. See ya.
Resurrected right now, US Immigration would turn him away. He wouldn't be allowed in here. We'd never see him. Now let me slow down real quick, because maybe you guys aren't understanding why this is such a big deal. Our team is one of the best in the world, and this major is huge. It's massive, and obviously we're very passionate about this game and this esport. So they need to get into the country to play in this major, because it's an in-person LAN. They can't compete from Canada. It's happening in America.
Oh God. Oh my God, I just realized. Imagine explaining what the difference is between playing an online video game and a LAN is to the people who run the immigration office. Oh, fuck. can they do that on Wi-Fi? Why can't they just do it on the internet? Well, what if they use really good internet? Well, why can't they just do it from Australia?
The home of the fucking cheeseburger and the Budweiser. It's
my
happening
God.
here. So they need
Does
to be
this
here
benefit
physically
China?
to compete in it. No holograms, no force ghosts, no AI, duplicate, replicants, nothing. It's got to be them, flesh and blood, which is off the table now.
Wow.
I think a lot of people had a bit of confusion with the last video I made about this because the Apex Boys, our team, has been in America before. We've even made videos.
I've already... Oh, boy.
Together with them at our
jeez.
warehouse. But there's a difference because they were only here for like 2 weeks. I think it was even less than 2 weeks. And then the major was overseas. So they weren't here for a long time. This time around, we needed a different process because they were going to play the whole split in NA. So it needed to go through an entirely different procedure to allow them to stay here for that period. And since we keep getting declined, they are now no longer allowed to just come here temporarily. All of that's halted because they're under our Moist Esports blanket. Now they can't come here just for like that 2 weeks or anything. It's totally different. It's all changed, which is why we had to work with so many lawyers to try and get this process moving, and we just kept getting declined. So now they can't come into the country.
Yeah, because what if it's just some fucking 58-year-old guy who's like, why do they need to come here to play a video game? Can't they just do that online? I don't see the reason for this. Decline. Yeah, we don't need more people here. Fuck that. I mean, that's so scary, man.
For this major, they couldn't even
Jesus.
show up on the day to compete. Plus, they wouldn't want to do that anyway because they want time to practice, obviously. So that leaves us with only one fucking option left, and that's to cut our team. We have to release
Naturally.
one of the best teams in the entire Apex circuit because that's the only way they're going to be allowed in the country. They can come here as long as they're not being represented by us. As long as they are not represented by any org right now, they can come here and compete. So that's our...
Oh, now it's getting real dumb. Oh, now we know it's the government. You have to understand that the people at the government, what is the goal of the government bureaucracy? To continue the existence of the government bureaucracy. So if this process was simple, then a lot of them would be fired. So it's in their best interest to create this like unfathomable tapestry of problems that you have to go through in order to figure out what you need to do. That's the reason. So dumb and slow, yes. And whenever I worked at the government, this is the way it was. And the problem is that whenever they get to the bottom of this, it will be no one's fault. Because the responsibility is dispersed between so many people that nobody can ever do anything wrong. It's just the way it is.
only option because we obviously want the best for these guys. We want them to shine at the major. So in order to do that, we have to let them go. It's like that fucking scene in Pokemon when Ash sets down the Pikachu and runs away crying. That's us. That is literally what we have to do with our team right now. We have to cut them so that way they can compete at the major. Because we're out of time. We can't resubmit again because this process is abominably fucking slow. Weeks just to get 2 sentences back from the U.S. immigration dinosaurs, the fucking fossils that are just bones and dust in those chairs at the agency there. Like, we can't do this again because we don't have time. The major's right around the corner. So, we are officially releasing the Moist Apex Squad. Unfortunately, we got the bad ending to this fucking playthrough here. And it's no fault of our own, by the way. We did everything by the books. We worked with other orgs, too. And so many different lawyers that specialize in this. And we did everything right. And still got slapped by U.S. immigration raid bosses.
I do wonder, why did this actually happen? Because, like, I assume that it's probably just somebody who's dumb that doesn't know how to do their job. That's probably what I would assume, but I don't know.
Ridiculous.
Lazy government.
I actually cooked up a theory. One that a couple of lawyers actually agreed with me on as the most likely culprit for why we kept getting declined and are still currently rejected. Our name. I hypothesized
It could be because they thought it was porn.
this in the last video I made, but I wasn't entirely subscribing to that belief until now. The name Moist Esports may have had a role in us being rejected, may be the only reason we were rejected. At U.S. immigration, it all falls onto your particular agency.
Because remember, they were having this thing about how OnlyFans girls couldn't come here? Remember, this is the same thing.
It is entirely
because
their
they're
discretion
prostitutes.
whether or not you are allowed entry into the country with whatever.
It was
you're
like a whole
submitting, whatever you're
conversation.
doing. You have an individual agent that handles your case. It is highly possible, and according to some lawyers, not unusual, for them to decline things based on very trivial reasoning. And they never conveyed.
Well, you have to understand that the reason why they decline it. So, in order to understand why do they decline something. So, the way the government works, or the way it worked, is that every single job was graded on a 5-point scale. 1 is dog shit, 2 is shit, 3 is okay, 4 is great, 5 is amazing. You have to get a 3. So every single person has their job min-maxed to where the 3 is like usually you working nonstop. So you know what I think probably happened is that declining an application takes less time than approving one. So they keep declining the application because they don't want to lose their fucking metrics. That's it. It's old info. Yeah, maybe it is old info. And that's probably what it could be.
Name was an issue to us, by the way. That would be something that's so petty that they probably would never put it in writing because it's fucking embarrassing and shameful. But it is possible that the name Moist is the reason why. Because moist is a word that is a little yucky to people, makes them feel a little icky.
Yeah,
so whoever was handling our case maybe just really didn't like that word, didn't take us seriously, and said, nope, we won't be dealing with them. Fuck them.
There is a very good chance that's true. Other orgs got approved? Yeah, but other orgs probably weren't named Moist. They're probably named, you know, like Team Solo Mid. TSM. What the fuck is that? I don't know. It's some fucking video game shit. Who cares?
And I think that's the most likely possible explanation for this at the moment. Because there's nothing else. There is actually nothing else that could have possibly gone awry in this process on our end. I hope the ghoulish heathen in charge of our case is proud of themselves for this. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just yanking your chain. The only thing I hope for the urinal cake that handled this case is that they get fired. That is the only solace I...
That's a weird way to pronounce promoted. Damn, man. Fired from a government job? Yeah, I mean, I hope they get this sorted. This is fucking ridiculous. And I'm sure somebody at the government will find out about this and it will get resolved. But holy shit. This is bad.
I will find here is if I learn that at some point whoever took this case is let go from U.S. immigration because the country would be much better for it. I think they are so bad at their job that it borders on being criminal. Like, they should be charged with treason for how poorly they've handled this case. 6 months. 6 months of work. Well, a little less than 6 months. And never once did they give us a real reason for why we were declined. The reasons they gave us were nonsensical. And when we were inquired for more information to rectify those problems... I
had this happen with... So there was a place that I was using to transfer money. And I tried to transfer, it was like $20,000 or $30,000. And they locked my account. And I tried to call them. I tried to fill out the paperwork. I tried to do everything. Like, I sent them, like, things. I called them. I went through the phone lines. I filled out their questionnaire. I responded to the emails. I did everything. I still don't think that I got that $20,000. I'm pretty sure it is still locked up in that account. And they never told me why they locked the account. I never found out. Now, I assume that they probably looked me up. They saw a picture of me. And they saw, oh, that's a drug dealer. Okay, well, Yeah, let's lock this one. Yeah, we don't want to get in trouble again. Yeah, just lock the account. Yeah, tell them that we'll fix it tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, just tell them whatever. Yeah, I went for like 6 months for this.
Submitted above and beyond the requirements.
Crazy.
And still got declined
Refund?
numerous
I couldn't.
times. I think this whole experience should be pretty eye-opening to a lot of people out there.
Yep.
To the blatant corruption in U.S. immigration. Like, this is so bad that it's almost comical. Like, if it wasn't so incredibly detrimental to our organization, I would probably find it laughable. Like, that's
But
how...
you do, so like, there are bad instances, but there are also good instances of the government being bad like this. Like, for example, one time my mom stopped paying the electricity bill, and the government didn't figure it out for 2 years. Yeah, and they never got the money back. Nothing ever happened. She just kept it, and that was it. That's a crime? Well, yeah, but the government didn't give a fuck. No back payments? No. There wasn't any back payments or anything like that.
Awful, horrible it is, and how bad of a state U.S. immigration is in. Like, just take a step back and really analyze this. The best lawyers in the world that specialize in this field in particular were unsuccessful in getting squeaky clean Australian gamers.
They do not stand a chance against Deborah, the underpaid government employee that is processing your form while eating a Kit Kat on the phone with her sister. She's not paying attention to any of this. All she's looking forward to is lunch. Every top lawyer doesn't have shit on Deborah. She can shut them all down.
The country, even when the game they're competing in has the highest level executives saying to U.S. immigration, no, they need to be here, they should be here. All of these extremely powerful parts working together to try and get them into the country, and they couldn't do it.
No match for Deborah, the gatekeeper.
Now imagine that for someone normal. Just normal, average Joes trying to get into the country and they have to deal with U.S. immigration. What fucking hope is there? What chance do you have? That's going to be like a 20-year process bare minimum.
Yeah.
That's inexcusably awful. What a broken fucking machine. The ice cream machines at McDonald's work better than the U.S. immigration process. It's so fucking stupid. I'm actually hitting a full-blown Porky Pig Scatman right now. I'm getting so heated. Like, it's an insult to the word stupid. Moonfall...
I think he needs to understand that this is by design. I genuinely believe that government systems are designed in a way to make them unapproachable, so they have to spend less time dealing with people. And I've noticed this with companies too. Have you guys ever had like had to call into like a phone hotline and they were like, yeah, you have to press 7. Okay, then press pound. Oh, you didn't press pound. Okay, you got to start back again. Okay, press 7, then press pound 7-1. Okay, and then, oh, you didn't do it again? Okay, sorry, sir. We're going to have to hang up on you. Goodbye. And then it's like everything about the system is designed to make it impossible for you to talk to a real person. I would say it's a dark pattern, but it's worse than that. It's like it's the entire thing. Yeah, it's all automated. Yes, it is automated to make it as obstructive as possible.
Web, the room, that's stupid. This, it's on a whole new level.
Oh, yeah.
It's in a different dimension, the fucking 6th dimension of
It's a
stupidity. It's a whole
pattern.
new ballgame.
Yeah.
Like the fucking poop farter that handled our case. It's giving me a headache. I'm actually going caveman braid. I'm becoming Cro-Magnon man right now. Just call them a fart pooper or whatever. Like, I'm running out of words in the English language to express the frustration at how incompetent this whole process has been on their end. So yeah, anyway, we had to release our Apex team. They will still be competing at the major, God willing, unless the immigration agent himself...
This is so ridiculous. I don't know why this reminds me of it, but like this is the level of stupidity that... You remember the South Park episode where they flew the whale to the moon on a rocket ship? That's about where we're at.
Turns up and fucking puts the kibosh on it himself, forms like a brick wall of meat and won't let them pass, physically imposing himself on them. But anything shy of that, the boys will be on American soil competing at the major, but
not under
they are no
Moist
longer
Esports.
our team. We had to cut them in order for that to happen. We will, of course, still be cheering for them. We, of course, still want them to win because they deserve it. I think they are the best team in Apex, and I'm still very excited to watch them play.
That's
But it
crazy.
really fucking hurts that it's not Moist Esports that they're competing under anymore. Thanks, U.S. immigration. Fuck you. Yep, that's really about it. See ya.
Wow. That is incredible. I work in a call center and we automate so much because we're getting such an influx of new customers, and our shitty company underpays, overworks, and understaffs us. So we literally don't have enough time to answer everyone's calls. Yes, I genuinely believe that a lot of these call systems nowadays are designed in a way to make it almost impossible to figure out what's going on. They're done like this on purpose. The great filter, Deborah. Yeah, exactly. And like, I remember, again, they just don't give a fuck. And the reason why they don't give a fuck is that there will never be any negative consequences to their behavior. And the best thing about it is that even whenever they do everything wrong and quantitatively they're bad at their job, people still don't get fired. Like, I remember one year I went there and there were a bunch of people who didn't do anything. The next year, they're back. Why did you bring her back? She doesn't do anything. All she does is sit there and eat food. That's it. And complain. Yeah, when it comes to the Mexican border, I don't know. It would have been a better idea. AI replaced them first. Yes, just eat hot chip and lie. Literally worked with Deborah at my last county job. Yeah, it's really bad, man. This is... I don't even know what to do about something like this. It's almost impossible to know what to do. That sucks. So, like, their team is still competing, but they can't compete under their brand name. Oh my god, that's so fucking stupid. Biden government? No, you don't understand, okay? This is something that transcends presidents. They survive this, okay? Like, Trump thought he could drain the swamp. He didn't realize how deep it was. These people have a 22-year career doing nothing and being paid $37 an hour for it. They are going to fight tooth and nail to have pizza parties every other day. And then the days that are not having pizza parties, they're having potlucks. Or birthday parties. Or there's some other fucking thing. It's another excuse for them not to work. A pancake luncheon. Yeah, there you go. A team building. Popcorn. It's a movie day. Their son's birthday. Yep. It is nuts, man. Check the logs. It's not the whole truth. I work in immigration. There's 3 cases filed against Moist in America. I guarantee you that that's not true. Because if you were expressing that and looking through that, you probably can't do that. Because you probably don't have access to the database on your own personal computer. And if you did, you would know not to display or talk about the information. You don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea. You're talking shit. I think this is just the new normal. This is the way every other company system is going to work. This will be the new normal for everything. Imagine role-playing as American immigration officer? Yeah. Even unclassified data still goes through filters for official use only. Yeah, like they told us, like, if you're talking or disseminating like outside or inside data to outside people, like, you got in like huge trouble. And so yeah, you're if you're doing that, you're an idiot, you know? If they tell everybody exactly what they need to get in, it makes it easier to get in, meaning more work for the workers. Exactly. So the better idea is to not tell anybody anything, and then it's all kind of like a mystery, and nobody really knows who does anything wrong. It's just like, oh, what is this? What's going on? Like, oh, I don't really know. Like, you know. And so that's the difference. Sounds like the way YouTube bans people. Exactly. And it works. There's no audit. There is, but you have to understand that the audit takes 9 months. And then sometimes the audit isn't completed, or it's done by one person and then finished by another. So it's incomplete, and then it has to go back to probably some sort of reset. And then after you do the audit, sometimes the person who does the audit doesn't actually read anything, the same as YouTube. And so, yeah, it's just, again, there's never a way. Like, whenever you do something through the government, there is a chance that you can roll a 1, which is the worst possible outcome for no reason. And it is, again, probably going to be RNG.